Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast, The Industrial. I'm your host, Iris, and we are still working on the events industry. And today, my guest is, drumroll,
DJ Smoov.
As you guys can see, he's a DJ, and he's a little smooth with it. So today's guest is DJ Smoov, and I'm going to ask him to let us know why he chose this industry.
First of all, hi Iris. What are you laughing about? I'm just saying hi.
Go ahead.
Hi Iris. You know I risk my life coming here, right?
I cannot.
Listen, I bust out gems, man. You gotta catch them.
That was one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Pokemon. All right, let's do it.
So,
you can call me what you want.
I'm gonna call you whatever I got.
Hey, listen, I've known you long enough. You can call me whatever you want.
All right, dance, it's like a joke.
There you go.
All right, Cliff. So, why did you choose DJing?
Well,
why did I choose you?
That's funny. That's a very good question because I don't know if it chose me, but I think what happened was I basically had a group of friends that just loved to party, and I was a dancer and something like that, and with putting parties together and going to parties, we basically was like we could take it over. Hence where I came from.
Take over?
That's right. That's right.
Not you dropping gems in hints and
cues and
everything.
You're saying.
So, how long have you been DJing?
That's a very good question because I was DJing for a very long time, stopped for a bit, and then went on my own. Mm-hmm. So, in reality, I want to say a little bit over 10 years. Like strong DJing in a sense of like trying to get somewhere. You get what I mean?
And I ask this question to everybody because I think it's important. And I think a lot of people have an issue with it, especially in our community. How do you create your prices?
You got some questions there. All right. So, well, with me and once again, this is my interview, so therefore, it's my opinion. It's not everybody else. Everybody, whoever's listening, you don't have to do the same thing. But what I definitely do is, you got to know your demographics in a way, right? If you're gonna do something in a community that you know that really is a poor community, you can't give them, like Hollywood prices.
Right.
It's not gonna work out. So you have to kind of gauge it that way. And of course, not lowball yourself. But the way you do that is by making sure that you're also comfortable with what you're getting.
Right.
That's how I do it. So in a case of, I'm doing a club, I'm not bringing any other equipment but my laptop. What does it take for me to get there and to perform for whatever amount of time?
Right.
And if it's a wedding, I'm bringing A through Z when it comes to the equipment, starting from audio to video to, audio to video to lighting and even performances and stuff like that.
Wait, you bring lighting?
Sometimes, yes.
To DJ?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, when they ask for uplights, you're the one who might have that and provide it. Or
we don't know who Uplight is.
Okay, so that guy, right? No, just kidding.
Because like what?
So lighting can go in all types of different directions. It could be your movers, which is your moving lights are kind of like your how would I put this? When you go in the club and then there's lights just moving all over the place.
Okay.
And
like the disco type lights.
Sort of.
Okay.
The disco lights are it's all it does is you're shining a light right through to the disco ball, and then it's just like, kind of reflects all over.
Okay.
But this one is just like it's like a motorized gear that pushes light in whatever image you want, and it just moves around, and you know how you're in the big concerts, they're doing the biggest part, like ding, ding, shh, and you see all the lights going crazy.
The DJ would bring that light.
DJ can bring that light.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a mover. That could be, you could do dance lights, which is just like regular lights on a tripod, but it's just taking care of the dance floor. Or you could do uplights, which is all around the room. You just kind of put them around the room on the floor. It illuminates up, to, say sometimes it's the poles.
Yeah.
Every pole or every like a couple of feet, and it makes the room look different. It just transformed the room.
So this is why I chose you, because what are you talking about right now? Like, the reason why I chose this man is because initially, I'm just going to give everybody a little backstory. I wanted to just do my podcast with the beauty industry. And then I spoke to someone, which was you, and we were on the phone for a while. I don't remember how we even got into like what you do like as a DJ.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you're not just a DJ, bro. Like, maybe people need to really hear what you do for work, because even my ignorant behind it, I know mad DJs. I'm like, I know that you guys do a little 1-2, 1-2, but I didn't realize you're doing lighting and engineering and this and that, like all the other like titles that are under your umbrella. So welcome Cliff again, because he's now, because don't they have people who do lighting, like they that's their thing?
Just think of every industry has a set of people doing certain things.
Yeah.
Like you have people that are only catering.
Right.
And within the catering, there might be, somebody that you hire to do the sushi stuff, the meat stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm trying to get at? Like, so that one company may have a couple of sous chefs in the mix. You get what I mean? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that one company can possibly have those chefs and then say, here's the lump sum of whatever price that I want to charge the client.
Right.
But sometimes they just go out and get it. It's the same thing with the DJing, or even with you, in the hair industry. If you're doing hair, you might know how to do wigs and braid, but somebody else knows how to do locks. Right? But if they go to you and you have all that lined up, you could just say, here's the money. I mean, here's the cost of that.
Right.
Because you already have it all.
Right.
So that's kind of the same thing that we're doing as DJs, especially if you're a mobile DJ. When you're a mobile DJ now, you want to make sure that you're charging and you're basically not having to go out too much for everything.
Right.
Because calling around trying to figure out who's going to be able to do this gig is not fun sometimes. It's better that you have somebody's gear with you.
Right.
And then you're just saying, yep, it's available,
But I don't think us people in the world realize that all that stuff is accessible through you.
Yeah. But I think every DJ has a friend. If they don't have that, if they don't like own it, they have a friend that has it, that they can actually tap on that shoulder and say, hey, how much would you charge me if I use your gear? Like, for instance, it's not every DJ that has speakers, believe it or not.
I thought they did.
No. And not every DJ has speakers. Some DJs just only have 2 speakers on a stand. Some DJs don't have any at all.
Right.
All they do is practice at home with whatever they have as a home audio gear, and then they show up at the events because they're only doing stuff that maybe a sound company always provide the sound, or as soon as they get called up for a gig, they call this particular sound company to just provide the sound for them. So it doesn't always have to be, you know, doesn't always have to be the DJ with all the gear.
Right.
But it helps when you do have all the gear.
And I wonder what people think. Because I know how people are.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Let's be honest.
Let's talk. Let's do it.
We know how people are. Like, you're like, oh, I'm just paying you to be a DJ. Mm-hmm. But yet you asked me to do all these other specialized things.
Exactly.
And you don't want to pay me. Like, where do you think that's going to come from? My time setting up, like, or calling around, like branching out to other.
My only advice to that is don't stress it. Just be like, okay, well, this is how much it costs for me to do this, and this is how much it costs for me to not do this. You know, like if you want sound, lights, me DJing for 4 hours, you know, all of that. So that doesn't mean that I'm only there for 4 hours. That means I'm there maybe 2 hours ahead and 2 hours after
to set up and break down.
So that's 6 hours, 7, 8. That's 8 hours of working. And then,
consistent working.
Yeah,
because breaks in between.
I'm setting up, I DJ, and then break down. So that's pretty much what you're gonna have to charge for. Right. And if they don't like it, that's cool. Just ask them, hey, okay. So if this is not what you're looking for, where can we meet? Right. Because I can't give you all of that for $100.
Right. That's absolutely not. So like, do you ever feel like you have to, or not even have to, but do you feel like sometimes it makes sense to break it down to a client to be like, do you understand that I have to come and set up for 2 hours? And this is what setting up looks like. Not just, because I might hear you say set up, and to me it might just be putting your laptop up and putting a speaker up and doing my check 1, 2, boom, 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 and you're done.
So that's a tough one, because in the past I used to actually break it all down. I say 2 hours of setup time. This is the cost. Me DJing. This is that cost. The gear that you asked for. This is the rental cost. And then, even with gas, because sometimes these things are not. Well, for the most part, if you're a mobile DJ, you're not DJing anywhere near your house,
especially for weddings. Most
likely, you know what I'm saying. You're talking about you're always traveling at least 40 to an hour and a half between that mark, away from where your base is. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you're getting money that accommodates the either vehicle or the gas and the gas vehicle. Right. And the gas. I shouldn't say or, it's and. So I used to break all that down.
Why used to?
I used to because I didn't want to make the client feel like I'm jipping them.
So you don't do it anymore. Do you feel like that's better, worse?
So this is what I learned. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They just want to know that they're.
You guys better care in this episode. I know that, but go ahead.
They don't usually care. They're like, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. Do you have
to set up? Can we set up for you? Do they ask you stupid questions like that?
No, sometimes, and we'll go into that. Just remember that so you can bring it back. So, they don't really care for all of those, They like to see it because it makes you look professional, but they don't really care. So what I would do now is just list what's happening and just give you the lump sum. And then the only thing I might put in is like if you do an add-on. So if I have a package, I say this is what's in the package and then this is the add-on. That's it. That way they know what they're getting. And if they were to say stuff like, well, I paid $500, but I didn't get any uplights. Right. And I'll be like, these are all the stuff you signed up for. Right. If you want the uplights, that's an add-on. I could actually add that on. Would you like that? I'm not gonna be like, that's an add-on. Like, figure it out. Like, nah. Like, it'd be like, no, not a problem. Would you like that? If you like that, then and then I send them another invoice that says, whatever I had there already plus the add-on. Right. So that way they feel comfortable. They don't feel like you're playing them. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all there. Now when it's not there, that's when they're like, oh, he said he was gonna do this, but he didn't do that. I can give you a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
I recently did a gig, and all I was is the DJ, and then there was a band and stuff like that going on. I had full on conversation with them about what's going to happen and how it's done, and I said, you know, it's going to cost A price for me to just show up and DJ. Right. It's going to cost B price for me to show up and DJ, but do all the promo and stuff like that, because this particular band needs a lot of help.
Right.
It's not like, you know, you were going to say Rihanna's coming. She don't really need much help. Right. It's just letting people know in advance so they could afford it. Yeah, that's really what you want to do. But when certain bands are coming, you're like, all right, they're a band, but like, who the hell really cares about them? Right. You know? And better yet, who knows that they still exist or in existence, right?
That's like, oh, Drew Hill's gonna be there, and then the younger generation's like,
yeah, who is that? Like, that doesn't mean they're not good. It just means you got to understand where you're going, your demographics, and all that, right? So they didn't understand that, and I try to break it all down to them on why it costs, you know, the B price, right? Because I'm going to do a lot of work, and even that might not work out. So you're still taking a risk with that one, and I explained all that. Yeah. At the end of the night, the person that I dealt with was happy. Okay. But while while they were happy, they proceeded to tell me how they were unhappy with another vendor, because the other vendor was like, yeah, I'll give you whatever you want, yeah. And then they comes and I don't have enough material to cover what you're asking for.
But you said yeah though.
You said yeah, and you made me pay this price for all of it. It's kind of like, I need you to drape this whole entire room. You had enough draping for half a wall. Like, dude, you should have said it's gonna cost me X amount to do the entire. But usually they do one wall, and this is how much it costs. Right. I feel like that's how you keep the client happy. Yeah. Now, are they always gonna be happy? No, absolutely, but at least you're in the clear. Your conscience is clear because you made everything nice and clear for everybody.
You did your part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so no, it's just like dealing with people is, and it's so interesting to me because even though I'm doing this podcast, like, we know dealing with people is hard, but we're also people that other people have to deal with, and it's hard for them too at times, right? I try to be super mindful now that I'm an entrepreneur to be like, that's your price. You just aren't for me right now, but cool, like, all right, whatever. Yeah. I try to be super mindful with that and not be like, damn, like, that's expensive. Because you feel like that's your price. It's like, I can't go to the Gucci store and be like, oh, that's how much you want me to pay for a belt? You're expensive. I'm not doing that. I'm like, bye.
This is not for you.
Go to Old Navy. You know what I'm saying? They're going to look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, dealing with people is like, it's its own thing. But I always find it interesting when you're dealing with people don't take in consideration that they're also people that are hard to deal with. And they also have instances when they're dealing with people that are hard to deal with.
They don't care. I'm telling you, they just don't care.
I know, but that's
as much as they act like, you know, we live in a world that's very sensitive, but they just don't care. Yeah. Because it pertains to them. You have to understand that. Like, if you could understand that, you'll be fine with whatever people do when it comes to your business. You know, you'd be like, okay, you don't want me, that's fine. I'll find another way.
Yeah, I've found myself,
a
little off topic, but I found myself to fire people, like fire my clients, and feel okay with it. Yeah, it took me a while, and no offense, I still love you guys. I still love the new and the old. Yeah. But it's realistically, it's like, just like every therapist ain't for you, every store ain't for you, every relationship ain't for you, every friend isn't for you, every client isn't for you. And I think people don't realize it because of money's and there's money transactions involved. So we're kind of like, oh, we need money. But it's like, I don't feel good in your energy, so maybe you can find somebody else who matches you better than me. Or maybe it's me.
No, I mean, this world we live in is very different.
Yeah.
It's very different, and it caused people to move differently. Even if you do know them, you don't know how they'll react when this particular, problem shows its ugly head. You know,
it's like what they say: don't mix business with pleasure, right?
Right. You just don't. Certain lessons we already know, but with this new world we are in, it enhances it. Economy plays a part. Environment plays a part. We're talking about we live in a place. I know this podcast is going all over, but where we live here, I think it's like 7% increase in that plays a part because your pay didn't increase.
So that actually goes with the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I said before, like, people want your prices to stay the same when everything else outside of us is going up.
But I know what you're saying, but what I was really referring to was, me as a guy, let's just say I'm not DJ Smoov right now. I'm a customer. I work at, I don't know, CVS. Okay. I'm just trying to, come with the scenario.
Yeah.
I work at CVS. My pay doesn't go up, but yet everything else went up in price. So that person feels like, damn, everything is going up. I can't afford anything.
Right.
So when they come up to you and I, who are DJ Smoov and Iris,
I can't deal with you. Go ahead.
When they come up to us, they're not expecting our price to go up, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's not that they don't understand it. They don't care.
Right.
Because they're like, yo, I just know I still struggle, bro. Like, you need to be able to,
right.
And sometimes, dude, even us.
Yeah.
Right? We go places. I try to get my hair done places, bro. Like, I can't afford it. Yeah. I'll be honest. I if I'm, I'm in the public eye all the time. So that means I got to get my hair done at least every month.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes twice. Because sometimes you could do one hairstyle that lasts you a long time. Right. Depending on what you did, how, sweaty you got. You get what I'm saying?
Because you be on the mic like...
If I got super sweaty one night, I got to get it done again. Right. Like before the next event. So, can you imagine? I got to dish out $120, $150
just for your hair.
I can't afford that.
Right.
I'm not rich. I can't afford it.
Not rich yet.
Okay, there you go. I can't afford that. I could afford it on a regular scheduled appointment, but I can't afford it like in some months. I got to get it 2 to 3 times.
Right. So even sticking on that, I know you're speaking from the client's perspective, which is great. We're talking about us right now.
No. But you gotta understand both sides.
But we are those. But we are both sides.
We're
right?
both sides. Yeah.
In different walks of life. Yeah. I'm the entrepreneur, but then I'm also a client, or I'm also a customer, like or whatever.
Old the old commercial.
Which one?
The old bald and commercial. It used to say something like. I'm not only a customer, I'm also a client type one. I can't remember what it is. That was the old commercial that used to come.
You're telling your age now.
No, it's all good. I don't mind. I got my cane right next to me. It don't matter.
Can you reach it? But so I think that is something that could be talked about, because at the end of the day, even whether you do something as a side hustle or you're doing it solely as your career, your job, it's like we have responsibilities also.
Yep.
That customers, clients, whatever title they have, they don't quite care about.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care about, you have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids. They don't care about that. They don't care about the fact that if you're sick, you don't get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid. You don't come in, you don't get paid.
We don't got that time. They don't give a damn.
They don't care about that stuff. But that's the part where it's like, well, if you want me to be better in my craft and learn more skills or educate myself to be a better DJ or a better stylist for you, why don't you want to pay me for that? Especially you said you was DJing for how many years?
Something like that, yeah.
You was DJing. I can't look me. You were DJing for mad years. Now imagine you're putting that time in. Let's say, for example, the hospital.
Yeah.
You're doing 10 years at the hospital. You're looking for an increase in or a raise and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But when clients look at us, they're looking at us like, well,
no,
I don't care.
It needs to be.
If you was doing hair since you was 12, when you was 12, you charged me $45, and my hair needs to still be $45 12 years later. Like,
yeah, we know that's the unfair part of it, right? It's unfair, but you just raise it anyways.
No, yeah, for sure.
Oh well,
but
because somebody said something to me one time. They were like it was. Actually, it's one of my jobs where he was talking and I got that type of example and I brought it up to him. I was like, yo, dude, listen, just because you take 2 minutes to edit this video, they shouldn't pay you less,
right?
Because it's because of all the work you've put in along those years caused you to do this job fast.
Yeah.
So if anything, they should pay you more because you got it done faster than the average person would have. So that has a value to it, right? Mm-hmm. And then the years you put in, the economy, everything plays a factor into it. So that's why I'm like, they don't care. Mm-hmm. While they don't care, you shouldn't care.
Right.
You're like, it's whatever.
You don't care.
It's okay. I will respect it. Because I am a human being, I'm going to think about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to always have to price it a way that works for me.
Right.
And not, of course, if you're unreasonable, you're just going to find out that nothing works for you.
Yeah.
But if you're reasonable, people will eventually say, okay, I don't like this shit, but it's good. But she's good, though. I don't like the fact that she charged me that, but she's good though.
Like what? I could get my feet massaged at her shop.
I guess I could finagle some.
Exactly.
And then there'll be times they fall back because they can't deal with it.
Right.
But ever so often they'll come back.
Yeah, when they're ready.
Yeah. So it's okay. That's why we have clients.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of them out there.
Right. If you have 10 clients, 3 of them are gonna not come out today, and then they'll show up again, and then the next 3, it's gonna be a rotation.
Right. So now that we talked about like what you do to maintain your skills as a DJ, like what is it that you do? Like I know as a hairstylist, I can go on YouTube, I can practice on people's hair, I can practice different styles, I can do my research. There's trends coming up on every year, every month, every few months for hairstyles. There's always something. Yeah, I mean, it might be reversed. Like, they call it invisible braids now, but back in the day, we called it something else. But the technique is different, whatever. But what is it that you feel like you like? Do you do any trainings? Is there like DJ conventions or something that you do to maintain like your skills or to provide the service for your clients?
Well. Me personally, I'll be honest, I just don't have time for anything.
So DJing is not your full-time job?
It's not my full-time, but it pays well.
Yeah.
So I give it the same attention as my full-time.
But just to let people know, like, you don't have all day just to focus on them.
No,
as
I
a
do
DJ.
not.
You work another full-time job.
Yeah.
You treat your side job.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I don't like to use the side thing is because I still give it all the same attention.
Okay. So you have 2 full-time jobs.
Sort of, yes.
One career,
That's
one
exactly
job.
How we should put it, yes.
Okay. So the world should know he's DJ Smoov at night and some weekends, but during the day, he's somebody else.
There you go.
His hat's changed. But so people can understand, like, when they was like, hey, can I message you? And then you don't respond back, at least you know, like, hi, I don't just sit on my phone all day. I can't.
Well, with that part, you're right, but for the most part, I'm
You
very
respond
good.
that quick.
I'm very good at responding.
Don't let the other job hear this. Go ahead.
I'm very good at responding, but the question is, how do you prepare? Nowadays, I don't really have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I prepare for the gig.
Mm-hmm.
If there's somebody out there that wants to be a DJ or, take this advice, just keep playing on your tunes. Like, just set up your gear and just keep playing. Ideas will flow.
Keep playing like at events or
no,
home?
just at home.
Mm-hmm.
Just play on it.
A lot.
Like your ideas will flow. You eventually, do some crazy stuff at an event. You're like, whoa, how did I come up with that? You technically been doing it.
What is it that you said? Keep playing. Your ideas will flow. Like, what is it that a DJ is doing that allows them to be a good DJ? Like, is it creativity? Is it the fact that you already had a love for music before? Like,
I feel like that's another set of questions that we're gonna have to go back for.
Go back, okay.
because that goes with
sorry,
another part. I don't want to like spoil it, but let's go.
The sequel.
So what I do, like I said, I prepare for the gig that I have coming up.
Okay.
So if I have a wedding, I ask them a lot of questions. I even ask them to give me a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean that I'm going to actually play the playlist exactly? No. That just means I want to see what type of music you like.
Right.
Because sometimes you're having a conversation with someone, they're like, I love Afro beats. And you realize when they give you the list, it's all hip hop.
Right.
My dude.
Celine Dion's in there.
Where in there was that? Like, you was just saying it so I could feel good?
Right.
Like,
now you DJing.
Now I'm doing that. I'm doing all Afro beats, and then I have a bunch of, hip hop heads like, where's the Drake at?
Right.
That you see what I'm trying to get at. So I have that conversation. I try to play that role of trying to figure it out. Who the person is, who the two, the people involved are, your audience as well, because if it's a wedding, it's your peoples that I have to entertain. It's not my peoples, so who are they, and then try to accommodate it that way. That's the type of work that I do.
Okay.
And that alone can be crazy because depending on who the person is.
Right. And then it's interesting because it's like, you could sit and know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
We already had a conversation like, oh my God, I like reggae, guitar, blah, blah, blah. And then if it's a wedding, now there's like your parents are there and their friends and their age group, and your kid is there with his age group. Like, who are we playing for? Are we going to play?
Am I going to just play 2022 dance hall only, or are we going to do 90s all the way up to now, splash of something else, and then you see what I'm saying? So all that plays a part. So. Now that comes with experience on how to do it. That I can't really explain. I just kind of have to show.
Right.
But as far as the idea or how you prepare for that, that's where it comes from. Just trying to figure out who the audience is. So,
do you feel like you can learn your guests and stuff like that, but as you start to play, like when you're at the event, can you switch it up, or is it like you already have a certain selection with you that you can't really like? You get what I'm saying?
Me personally, I can. Okay. I can switch it up. I think it just comes with experience and the type of DJ that I am.
Okay.
That's why I was saying you gotta wait for that one, because it goes with the type of DJ that you are. I got too many questions. That's dope. The type of DJ that I am.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it works for me. If somebody was to switch it up on me, for the most part, it works.
Yeah.
Certain things, I'll be honest, I'm still, I don't really, I'm not really good with. Yeah. If I go there and I find it's all country music people, like, I don't know if I could switch that, but what I'll do is find a way to play some Spotify for you. Right. Because at that point, I'm not DJing, I'm just, playing a playlist for you or something, just to save the event. Yeah. But that happens. sometimes, believe it or not. You know.
I mean, that could be really, really interesting because, yeah, and what if the client doesn't even know themselves? Like you said, like the person's like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, I like
Sometimes they
Afrobeats,
don't.
but it's like, but
Listen,
when I listened to you, when I looked at your playlist, it was rock and roll.
I've had
Like-
a Trini and Puerto Rican, right? Trini and Puerto Rican wedding before, and they said, no, all American music, all the peoples are white and black, you know, and they're, you know, we're not really into the those type of, because they're, you know, they grew up here, they're
Right.
all about that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what about your family? They're like, it's whatever you want. And then, lo and behold, they wanted some soca, and and they wanted some bachata and merengue,
Oh my goodness.
and all that. And I have a few. I'm not prepared. I have just a few that I
Right.
could hold down for 30 minutes.
Right.
But I don't have enough to do 4 hours.
Right. 30 minutes
You
is not a
know,
long
or
time.
you know, you get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So
you have to improvise.
So at that point, yo, where's that Spotify? What do you want to hear? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Which is what people probably think DJs do. Just anyway.
Probably.
What do you want to hear? YouTube? Cool.
All right.
Got it.
Boom. You know.
So, okay, because I want to get to this question so bad.
Yeah, let's do it. What's the question?
How do you figure out what type of DJ you want to be?
Good question. I don't know how. That's it. I don't know how, but eventually, by keep going, you will figure it out.
So, like, what are the DJ options? Like, me saying what type of DJ, like, what does that mean in the DJ world?
Because a DJ doesn't necessarily mean that if you are a DJ, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily someone who's going to be doing parties.
Right.
Or doing weddings or doing clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a battle DJ. Or you're just doing a scratching thing and you just only go into competitions and make you millions that way.
You said millions?
You could make millions.
I'm about to learn how to battle DJ.
You could make millions. Here's an industry that people don't realize that makes a lot of money as a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
The trance techno and all those type of EDM and them boys make money.
Okay, good
and
to know.
You're talking about, you know, easy $3,000 a gig, you know.
And how come we're not doing this?
Well, you know, you got to know the music and you got to take a little bit of drugs.
All right.
You got to be into it, bro. Like I don't know. They lost me at the drugs part. And
you're like, I can get into it, but what now?
Yeah, you know, it's a little, you know, every industry has their little funny stuff.
Right. Do you feel like it's hard for someone who DJs at the club, like nightlife DJing, they can't just jump into a wedding? Can they, or can they not? Like, in your opinion, like, would it be that easy for me to see a DJ that plays great at the club and be like, I need you at my wedding next week?
How professional are you? Is what I would ask.
Okay.
Because that will determine if you can do the wedding. Does that make sense?
Yes.
How professional are you? Because are you going to be professional where, and we're talking about what type of wedding too. Like, who hired you? Mm-hmm. No offense, is it a ratchet, you know, saying, like, group that hired you?
Right.
Is it a, you know, somebody who's very, like, you know, successful that just was like, I want that vibe
what
at my wedding.
What kind of night did you catch me on?
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These are the questions you want to ask.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll tell you if the person can do it. Because if they hired you from the club, then they want what you did.
Right.
Right? So if they want what you did, but how professional are you to know when to switch it to that?
Right.
Because while the pastor's preaching, you can't have pop that booty, you know, in the background like it's like real low.
Never later.
All I'm saying is All I'm saying,
they got it playing now.
You know,
Pastor might not be happy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be professional. You got to know what's up. You got to know your surroundings.
Right.
You know, and so that person will probably kill that wedding because they loved what that person did. And you know how many of their friends that was there at that time too. They were like, oh, you need that person. So that's dope. But while that's dope, now how professional are you?
Right.
Can you get there on time? Can you provide the other gear that they're going to be looking for? Will you do your homework? Because there's other little pieces that you want to be prepared for.
Right.
You know, so if you can do all that, yes. If you can't, I guarantee it's going to be a disaster.
People going to be eating. They don't know if they should dance or sit or talk or walk.
You know, when they're eating, do you really want to give all your dopest tunes while they eat?
That's true.
If you do that, what are you going to play then?
On the dance floor.
You know, people will say, well, there's a lot of music out there, but not a lot of music is going to get people dancing. So stop saying a lot of.
Right. So, noted. DJs don't like a lot of.
A lot of. Okay.
Like, what's a lot of? You don't like it.
What is that? Like, dude, every year, you know, by the time you start having your events, you probably have like 20 songs that are really dope.
That you can think of off the top of your head.
You know what I'm saying? Besides that, what else do you got? Sprinkles of other things that makes it all mesh together.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't heard that song in mad long.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yo, that's me. Good.
I guess that kind of goes in hand with what makes a good DJ. Doing your homework is one.
Yeah.
I'm answering because I think I'm signing up to be a DJ. Hold on, because he was like, yes.
That means I did a good job.
You did, because he was like,
Yeah,
and I was
interesting.
Like, yeah.
Check mark.
I was like, doing your homework, paying attention to the audience, knowing your customer, getting to know who they actually are, know who they tell you they are.
Yeah.
I feel. What's the next one?
No, you got it. You got it.
That's it.
Yeah, you got it. That's it.
A question you told me to come back to was the idea of, can we set up for you? Like, people trying to like throw their say in so that they can like dumb down that price a little bit. So what's the craziest thing you've heard?
I can't remember. Oh. I honestly tuned all those things out.
As soon as I said it, he was like, no, that's gotta be an accident.
Listen, Iris, you know me well, but the audience doesn't. But I would say this right, just so everybody could know, since we're here. There's not a lot of shit that I keep in my head. You know, the minute I hear something that's caca, it's out. It's gone. I'm like, this is stupid, and I keep moving. Because there's no point. What am I keeping that for? Because I'm never gonna use it.
Right, like.
And I gotta make room.
Do you know how to set up?
I gotta make room for other important things I need to put in my head. So I'm that guy. So good luck. So anybody who's talked to me and realized you was talking some shit, just remember I don't remember it. It's over.
It ended. The moment,
That's
the
it.
moment the period was at the end of the
You
sentence.
knew your shit was shit. That's it.
Like, he said that was it for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so to answer that question, which is, you know, how do you deal with the people that say, hey, I'm upset up and blah, 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 and you could just come and DJ so that your price could go down or something. There's a few ways to do that. It all depends who the person is. Yeah. If the person is someone that is in the industry that says, yo, I just need you to come DJ, I'll take care of everything else. Okay. You're like, bet. You know what's up.
Easier for you.
Yep. But I think your best bet is to outline all those things in your contract. Mm-hmm. Say, okay, I'm only responsible for blah, blah, blah. Please provide blah, 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 blah. Right. Just outline those. Even if they're not going to look at it, but it's there.
It's on the contract. You signed it.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's how you save your butt. Yeah. You know, and I'm saying all this because, you know, I just recently really made the contract like a beginning and end. Mm-hmm. Before, I'd be like, all right, I've known you for a very long time. I don't want to do a contract. But, you know, because some people find that as an insult. And I didn't want to insult anybody.
But you're a business professional.
So I had to find a way to do it without them feeling some type of way. And if they did after I was very nice about it, that's because you wanted to be that way anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. Like, as long as, I guess the whole thing is, as long as your conscience is clear, you're good. You know?
You covered your tracks, you did your part, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, I feel like even me doing hair, I've been doing hair since I was, like, 14 in a shop, I feel like. But I had people like, I'm not calling your work phone. And I'm like, what? Like, no, but you have to text the work phone. But they feel like, kind of like what you're saying about the contracts, like, oh, like, I'm your bro, I'm the sis, like, I'm this and I'm that. But it's like, I had to explain, some of them still don't call the work phone.
Yeah.
And what I do respectfully sometimes is when they text my personal phone, which it irks my soul, I respond to them on the work phone. Oh, I read it. Yeah, I did read it. But, hi, I'm here. This is where I'm at business-wise. If you want to talk to me personally, yes, text me, call me, fine. You want to talk about foolishness? Great.
Yeah.
Business, that phone. But people don't realize it's like, it's not about who you are. It's about how I feel. Yeah. Like, mentally, I need you to contact my work phone so that when those messages come in, I know I'm putting my work hat on. Yeah. When you text me on my personal phone, it's a, hey, what's up, Iris? How are you? It's not, hey, what's up, Iris? How are you? 10 minutes later, can I get my hair done? Oh, so you just trying to sweet talk me into a hair appointment? Like, what's going on? So like, it's for my mental health. For me, I need to keep it separate.
I get it.
So I understand the contract thing when you try to get professional with people who've known you for so long or now doing business with you, for them to respect those boundaries. Like, I'm not being rude to you, but I'm being professional for me. Like, this is a for me thing, not a to you thing.
So this is where our business is different, because there's a time that they can switch to that. For you, they don't. It's like, I'm hitting you to get my hair done. That's probably our only conversation. Right. With me, I have the ability to say, okay, so let's switch it to this number here because I'll have all the information, you know. And what I do for the most part is, as soon as we have a conversation, I shoot you my link on my website so you could just go in there and put in all your information, all the important stuff that I need to know, like your name and how to reach you, and then how many people it's going to be. You know, the little important stuff that will allow me to automatically know where the ballpark figure is. And then we go and talk in depth, you know. But till then, if you don't do that, I can't do it, because I'm going to say to you, I need that. And I'm also going to need that same information to put on a contract. Right. So you got to help me out here. So I think it's easier for me to make people transition to, you know, the business phone and platform than you. But, you know, I think that's... Because people are trying to be, like, respectful to me. Like, they're thinking of me as, this is my friend. Hey, Iris, how are you? How's your son doing? How's work? And I'm like... I'm looking at my phone, waiting. Get to it. Hurry up. I'm trying to... I don't want to be rude and be like, assume. Like, hi, do you want your hair done? Because I know we don't text on a regular basis, so... It's not my birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not Mother's Day. So you need a hair appointment. Just say that. But I understand. No, but you can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at that. Come on. I do. You know why? You can't get mad at that. You gotta respect, at least they have a human piece that they're bringing out. No. So you know. You're like, no. So here's the thing. That's why I'm working on, like, online booking and stuff, because you guys have contracts that's kind of like, great, you want to work with me? Boom, here. Yeah. Small talk takes up so much of my time. I agree. If I'm working on a client and I want to answer your question real quick, I can't even answer your question real quick, because now you're asking me how my day is, and I have to respectfully say, how's yours? I can't be like, bet, what do you want? Like, so that goes back to the beginning when I said people don't care. They don't care. Okay, so some people care too much and some people don't care. No, ultimately they don't care. If we have 1,000 people that don't care and 1,001 person cares, for the majority they don't care. They don't care. Right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. That it's just like when they say hi, how are you doing? I don't really want to know how you doing. Like it's just how you greet people.
Yeah.
You know, it's the cadence of greeting.
But they be waiting for a response. That's the thing that gets me. I love you guys, and I know you guys know exactly who you are, and you know I'll tell you this to your face because we have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
But they will be like, "Hey, Iris, how are you?" And it'd be quiet like this. If you don't just give me the date and time and hairstyle, please and thank you. Like
you gotta play the game too. You gotta understand that.
But you know what I think it is, because I've been doing this for so long, and now I'm taking it to another level of business. I'm very vocal about explaining to people, this is why I need you to do this, because it's like that time you're looking for, I can't give it to you.
Yeah.
Because I try my best not to touch my phone when I'm working.
Yeah.
Because if this person has somewhere to go, that 2 seconds of me responding is taking up time.
I understand. It's not that I don't understand.
No, we're telling you guys.
Unfortunately, the business is the business.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to deal with people that way, and people don't really, and this is not the clients that don't care. It's just people in general don't really care about what's going on in your life. It's more they care about what they need.
Right.
And honestly, that's for us too sometimes. We need you to tell me what you want, I don't really care if
don't worry about
you had a day. Exactly.
Don't care about me. But what do you need me to do?
But these are the realities that people don't like to say.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we both have to play the game.
Right. But hopefully now that you guys heard what I said, you get it. It's like, I'm joking. One question I would like for you to answer, and this kind of goes into you being a human being outside of your full-time job, part 2, times 2, doubled, squared, all of that. What is something you would like people to take into consideration? Like, you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a friend, you're a son, you're a cousin, you're a mentor or something. I'm sure you mentor somebody because you have to. You've been doing this for so long. You know what I'm saying? So like, with all of those hats that you have, what is it that you feel like people, I know we already said people don't care, but like, what is it that you would like to say to people to just be like, hey guys, I love the fact that you love me and I have no problem providing this service for you to the max, but come on, Is there something?
It's not much. I think I'm going to take it a little bit left on this one. What I really would like to say to the audience.
Listen up.
Is I don't like boxes. Don't put me in a box.
Continue. Elaborate.
I don't like that so much because me personally, I don't like wasting my time.
Right.
Let me do it myself, but I don't like when people do it for me.
Right.
And I think that's where you're coming from as well. Like, please don't waste my time because I could have been doing, 3 braids right now, and I stopped because I get it. I don't like that. Don't waste my time. If you don't, really want to deal with me, I'm perfectly fine with it. I will still go out and drink with you. I'm perfectly fine with that because, in this world, you have to understand there's an artist for everybody. There's a DJ for everybody. There's a, you don't, some people only go to certain gas stations.
Yep. Because
the others they don't like.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. Right? But for me, I don't like being put in boxes. Like, oh, he's just a blah, blah, blah DJ. Right. Please don't do that because what they're doing or allow other people to make you think that way. I think that's the better thing to say. Don't allow other people to make you think that way because all they're doing is making sure that you're stuck in one area so they could move on and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like if another DJ was to say, Smoov's just a soca DJ. Okay. So you're saying when you say he's just a soca DJ, that means he can't do hip hop. He can't do.
Don't say that.
He can't do compa. He can't do.
Right.
can't do Afro, can't.
Or have you just been coming to my soca events and that's all you heard?
Yeah, like don't do that.
Right.
And don't allow people to let you. I mean, like basically mold your mind into that because once you do that, it's almost a form of like, when we're talking about with Black history and stuff, it's a form of that. Like, you put everything in one area so you could say that's all these people could do.
Right.
So in my case, that's all I can do, and it's not true. Right. I could do way more than that. So better yet to just think of me as a DJ and ask me if I can do it instead of. So that's all it is. I don't like being put in a box.
Don't box him in, guys.
No. Don't put baby in the corner.
Oh, gosh. She didn't like being in the corner. You don't like being in the box.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I don't like that.
And then the Spanish dude from the movie didn't like locked doors. I know, I went
exactly.
there. I went there, but that's where my head was just. In my head, all I hear is no more locked doors. I'm sorry.
No more locked doors.
So, guys, we're going to wrap this interview up.
Already? Man, I'm just getting started.
We're going to have it to be continued. We are going to wrap this up. And if I didn't get to ask you any questions and I find them, this will be a 2-part
Yeah,
interview.
let's do it. This was fun.
And, yeah.
I was afraid of it. You know that.
You was scared?
Of course.
Don't be scared.
I am one of those guys I just don't like to, I have a lot that I can talk with someone one-on-one, but I'm always afraid of putting my opinion out there so people don't get so offended, because I'm so realistic with my opinions. I don't base it off of faith or beliefs and stuff like that. It's more realistic. What is on the surface? What it is. So that always offends people.
And I think once people get to know who you are, like, people get accustomed to things easily. And the podcast, like, I think I was telling you before, some people want to be very strategic on how they answer the questions.
Yeah.
And the reality is, the podcast is to let people know, like, I'm human. These are all the skills I have. These are all the traits I have. I'm providing the service to you, but please respect my craft. That's literally all the podcast is saying. So if anybody's offended, they should be. If they're offended, they probably need to, like, take a step back and be like, okay, I didn't realize he did all that. Next time I try to book a DJ, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
Well, if you're offended in that way, I'll take it. But there's other questions, that can be asked. Like when you're talking about, professional, personal, to the profession questions, those are perfectly fine. But there's certain times you put other things in there, and then they're just realistic stuff, like the selfish piece that we were just talking about. People like, I'm not selfish. I just think it's too high. No, you are.
It's okay.
It's not that it's a bad thing. We all do it.
You just have to know who you are.
You just got to know when you're using it. When you use it, it's kind of like if you have a superpower. You got to learn when to use it, when to not.
Yeah.
It's the same situation with, when being selfish, when not to be.
People who want to learn and understand will. And those are the people we're talking to.
Yeah.
People who are not open-minded and people who get offended by these things, they just have a lot more learning and eye-opening to do so that they can understand. Because this definitely taught me to, when that representative's on the phone, to be patient and be like, they're not even the problem. They just work for the company.
Yeah.
The company has rules. The rules are the problem. But this person's just trying to get their day. They're trying to just go by with their day. That's it.
For sure.
So interviewing people has taught me to be a little more like humble and patient with people that I deal with. We are going to ask you to like, subscribe, and follow. And if you'd like to check out DJ Smoov on Instagram or where else? Yeah,
so on Instagram, on the website, on Facebook, everywhere, it's all Smoov Network. SMOOV Network. All one word. And should I say something to the fans?
Say it to the
anybody?
fans.
You know
Talk
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
people.
Yo, check Iris out, okay?
Don't listen to him, guys.
Yeah, listen, check her out, yo. She good peoples. All right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And the last thing I do want to say to the fans is, I appreciate all of you guys, because for the most part, when there's things that are not going well in these businesses, you're the reason why we could continue.
Yeah.
And I think that goes across the board.
Of course.
As much as we take, some battles, we're fighting, we're doing all these things, trying to make sure that you guys understand us and we understand you. But ultimately, the few that stick with us and keep our service going, that's how we keep it going as well. That you are giving us strength to keep going. So we thank you.
I will say I appreciate you guys too. And we thank you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.